What's up, everybody? So this is something that I haven't really talked about on the channel before, but when I was a kid, we used to live in a pretty bad part of town. My dad was just kind of starting out in our construction business, and I remember on like 4 or 5 different occasions, he had all of his tools ripped off, either through break-ins to the shop, or a couple of times he even had his truck stolen with all of his tools in it. And each time, it was this big, devastating setback, and it's something that I still carry with me to this day. So I try to take security at the shop here pretty seriously. I mean, look at this place. It's basically a thief's dream. Thousands of dollars in virtually untraceable tools. Tools that I depend on to make my living. And I'm guessing many of you watching this are probably in a similar position. So that's why I think having a good, high quality security system is essential for any shop or home. And that's also why I am so excited to partner with the sponsor of today's video, Eufy Security. Their new S330 EufyCam with an upgraded Homebase 3 is their highest grade of security cameras. It's got full 4K resolution, a built-in solar panel, bionic mind AI technology, and expandable local storage. They're also ridiculously easy to set up, install, and use. I think Eufy Security has actually managed to eliminate all the pain points that I've had with other traditional security setups. Plus, they've incorporated a bunch of really cool high-tech features that I am genuinely excited to test out. So today, we are going to take a big step towards upgrading the security here in the shop by installing these. But first, let's unbox these bad boys and see what we're working with. All right, well, I mean, first off, bravo Eufy. This is a very nice unboxing experience. Right off the bat, you have your 2 security cameras right here, and then the upgraded Homebase 3. The cameras are both 4K and will do color video during the day and night, which is pretty cool. A lot of cameras will actually default to black and white at night, but we'll talk more about that later. And then on the layer below that, you have a bunch of cables and accessories to help with installation. And that is one of the areas where I think these cameras really excel. Eufy Security has found a way to make the installation of these super easy because these are both solar and battery powered. And you can really feel it when you're holding them. They must have a pretty heavy battery in there because they are very substantial feeling. Having solar panels right on the camera is kind of a game changer. It means that you don't need to run power to wherever you install them. No more calling an electrician, drilling holes, etc., etc. All of that stuff gets very time consuming and very expensive very quick. Truth be told, that was probably my biggest beef with most traditional cameras. As long as these get 2 hours of direct sunlight every day, they never need to be charged. And even if they don't, their internal battery will last up to a year on a single charge. Anyways, speaking of installation, why don't we get started on that so we can see just how easy it is. The first thing we're gonna do is set up the Homebase 3. Not only does this support the included cameras, but it also acts as a hub for up to 16 other Eufy Security devices and 34 Eufy Security sensors. You just plug it in, connect it to your router, download the app, and then complete the setup. The Homebase 3 connects and communicates wirelessly with your cameras, and it brings the latest AI features to the connected devices for building your own smart home automations. So again, no need to run wires from the base station to the cameras either. It's also responsible for communicating with you when you are out of the house. It'll send you notifications and allow for remote viewing, but we'll talk more about that later. So from the factory, this unit has 16 gigabytes of internal storage. And I think I already know what you're thinking. Here comes the hard sell for their online cloud service to store all of your additional footage. No, that is not the case here. This is another one of my biggest beef with traditional security cameras. Actually, specifically, it's for the newer high-tech ones. I am not paying you a monthly fee to unlock all of the features for a camera system that I already paid for. This is a privacy-focused camera system, and that means no cloud storage. Everything happens right here locally on the device, and there are no monthly fees. Now, granted, 16 gigabytes isn't a ton of storage, but Eufy says that should cover about 3 months of clip storage on its own. If that doesn't sound like enough to you, well then don't worry, because they've got you covered with one of my favorite features of the new Homebase 3. Just pop this top plate off, remove the screw right here, and you've got yourself a 2.5-inch drive bay. Perfect for a SATA SSD or your typical laptop hard drive. So just throw a big hard drive in there, like this 1 terabyte unit that I have right here, and you've got yourself storage for 15 years of clips or 1 month of continuous round-the-clock footage. And then after that, all you have to do is pair the security cameras to the home base using the app, and you're ready to go. And that's basically it for the Home Base 3. So really quick and easy to get set up. Now that we're done with that, we can move on to installing the security cameras. So when you're picking out your camera installation locations, you basically want to be thinking about 2 things: sight lines and sun exposure. The more sun you can get, the better, but personally, I would prioritize sight lines. You really want to be able to see those key security points around your house or your workshop. So the plan here is to take camera number 1 and put it under the awning of the shop. That way it will cover the main entrance as well as the driveway all the way out to the street. That is the most important security sight line that I want to get with these cameras. So technically installing these security cameras up here under this awning is a little bit of a no-no. You want to give them as much sun exposure as possible. However, I know my building and I know later in the day, these are going to get a ton of direct sunlight as the sun sets, and I'm going to try and position them as close to the edge as possible. I just really didn't want to screw these security cameras into the metal front fascia of the shop. I'd rather do it here in the wood where it'll be a little bit less noticeable and a little easier to patch down the line if I want to. So installation is really easy. Put this in my back pocket like so. Eufy has actually included these handy dandy little stickers that you can use to position the plates that you mount the cameras to. So I got my sticker in place, give it a couple little pre-drill holes so the wood doesn't split. Now that our holes are drilled, we can remove the sticker like so. Come on, come down, there we go. We are going to screw the base plate in place. Oh. Then the ball head screws onto the base plate like that. And finally, the camera screws onto the ball head. I'll position that so it gets a little bit of sunlight at the end of the day. There's camera number 1 done. So as you can see, you get a real nice view of the main approach to the shop. And the nice thing about these cameras is that they will actually use some of their AI powers to recognize vehicles parked in the driveway. So if a strange vehicle parks in your driveway that it doesn't recognize, it'll actually send you a notification on your phone, which I think is pretty cool. So now for the second camera. This one I want to position over here to cover the side entrance to the shop, which truth be told is probably the most vulnerable because of all this glass right here. But unfortunately, I don't get a whole lot of sunlight on this side of the shop. Mind you, I do get a little bit, but I think this is a great example of when you're really gonna rely on the battery power of these cameras. So like I said before, these get up to a year of battery life on a single charge. So worst case scenario, I get 0 sun back here. I can still run these for a year, just take them down once a year and charge them. I don't really mind doing that, but I don't even think I'll have to do that because we do get a little bit of late day sun here. So let's get this one installed. Now, in order to maximize our viewing angles, I'm gonna put it all the way back here at the very furthest corner of the shop, right there. Boom. Try not to, I said I was gonna try not to drop the screws this time, and then I dropped them. Attach the ball head. It's on there nice and tight. Angle out this way ever so slightly because I know later in the day we'll get sun coming in this way and it should hopefully get just a little bit of sunlight, which, you know, theoretically might be enough to keep it fully charged. All right, so there we go. We got both cameras installed. It only took about 15 minutes. I only used a single tool to do it, surprisingly. And yeah, I think those are just about the easiest security cameras that I have ever seen to install. Now that we've got those installed, let's start playing around with some of the software features. This is the fun part. I've been waiting to talk about this. Obviously, these cameras are wide angle, but they're also really high resolution, 4K, which means you can capture a ton of detail in your footage, allowing you to punch in and pull out important details like license plate numbers and maybe even the face of a would-be burglar. And that's probably a good segue to talk about one of the more high-tech features of these cameras. They're AI facial recognition system, the bionic mind. So basically, these cameras learn faces. What that means practically is that you can set up different notifications and behaviors depending on who the camera sees. You probably don't want a notification on your phone every time the camera sees you or another one of your family members. But if it's someone the camera has never seen before approaching your front door, then maybe, yeah, you do want a notification. This system is really customizable, so you can set it up just how you like it. Do you want to get a notification anytime a car parks in your driveway? Yeah, you can do that. You can also get monthly security reports to let you know what's going on around your home, even when you're not there. Additionally, these cameras also have some great theft deterrent features, which brings me to another common issue that I've had with other security cameras on the market. It's nice to have footage of a break-in after the fact, but depending on the competence of your local police department, it might not actually make that much of a difference. Fun fact, and a little bit of a story time here, at my old house, I actually had my bike stolen and I captured crystal clear HD footage of the thief doing it. I even went on Facebook and tracked down the exact person who did it. I then took all that information to my local police department and they told me there was nothing that they could do. Yeah, thanks a lot, Toronto Police Department. So I was really happy to see that there were actually a couple of cool features packed into these cameras to actually prevent thefts. Number one is the built-in 100 lumen flood lamps. Let's say it's 3 a.m. and the camera detects someone it doesn't recognize outside of your home. You can just press a button in the app and throw on these powerful lights. 99% of the time, that alone is going to scare off any would-be criminals. And also, that'll be pretty handy when I'm unloading materials at night. Feature number two is the two-way audio and alarm. You can actually talk through these cameras and you can also hear what's going on. This is a great way to really drive home the point that any would-be thieves should think twice about potentially robbing you. Dude, come on, what are you doing? I got you on my cameras.
Huh? Me? Oh, no. I was just going to, but yeah, I was going to steal your stuff. I'll just see myself out. Sorry.
Moving right along, both daytime and nighttime recordings are no issue, and thanks to the Starlight image sensor, you can see super clearly even at night. And of course, you can always live view the cameras at any time, which is super handy when you're trying to see if your latest Amazon delivery is there yet. So, as you can probably tell, I am very excited about this new addition to the shop. I think a good security camera setup is a smart addition to any home, but for all of us woodworkers, DIYers, and builders with a garage full of tools, it's practically a must-have. Not only will I rest easier at night knowing that my business's most valuable assets are well protected, but I'm also excited for these cameras to just simplify my life a bit when it comes to things like receiving shipments and packages here at the shop. And I gotta say, I think Eufy Security really nailed it with these cameras. The installation was super easy. You saw it took like 15 minutes. There was no need to run any electrical lines. In fact, there was no need to run any lines of any type. There's no monthly fee for using the cameras. There's no cloud service to rely on. Local storage can do everything. There's continuous power with the built-in solar cells, and the app has just about every feature and function that I could ever ask for. So yeah, I highly recommend these cameras, and I will include some links to them in the video description. And on that note, I think that's the perfect point to end this video. So thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to Eufy Security for sponsoring this video. That's it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.